So, I'm, as you probably can see, very distressed about something. And I just took out my phone. I decided to record myself, hoping that perhaps I will find the source of my dismay. I have something very important that I have to do, and for some reason, I've been putting it off for like a month now, probably even more. So, since the beginning of the year, today is the 20th of March 2024, and it's currently almost 4 p.m. And the problem that I'm facing is that, as I said, there is something that I have to do. I know that I have to do it, yet I still can't bring myself to do that, that solution for some reason, or that thing that I know that I have to do. I still can't bring myself to do it. And I'm like, I decided to just take a walk outside. As you can see, I'm outside right now. And I wanted to see if maybe this walk is gonna help me see the solution to this problem that I have. Um, Thing is, as I was walking, do you ever feel like there are some ideas that are very hard to express? You know the idea. There's like a very particular idea that you have in your brain right now, so you feel it, you can think it, but you can't articulate it. You can't utter the words. You can't share the the idea that you have in your brain. And I am at that stage. I feel like it's exceedingly difficult to share that idea, but I'm gonna try it now. So the idea was, obviously it's related to all of this dilemma that I'm in, and that is, do you ever feel like whenever something is brought up, for example, if someone, like in the context, in this context that I'm sharing with you, as I said, there's something that I have to do. So if someone, like my brother, for example, or my parents, came up to me and said, you have to do X, which is X being the thing that I need to do, I feel some kind of resistance, but this resistance doesn't come from nowhere. I think at the beginning of the recording, of this recording, I said, I don't know why, but I feel like there are some, um, clues in my brain. Like I know why, but at the same time, it's too difficult to say why, because I just don't want to accept it. Or at the same time, it's kind of like, how do I explain this? It's very difficult to talk about this because I don't even know what it is that I'm talking about. So if you know peripheral vision, so for example, if there is something, like here, I can still, like, it's not in front of me, it's to the side. So, but like, if someone moved to the side and I wasn't even, like, I was looking to the opposite direction, thanks to my peripheral vision, I could still make it, like, almost make out whatever that's moving to the side, right? I feel like those words that are escaping my mouth, they're like peripheral vision, but they're the peripheral vision of peripheral vision. So there are like, think of it like this: there are two peripheral visions, this one, so to the side, and then you have one that's to the back, like from the perspective of the peripheral vision of the side. It also has peripheral vision, which goes to the front quarter, like here, and it goes to like the back of my head, which is its peripheral vision. And I feel like that's just how ambiguous and how very tricky to ascertain exactly, like the motivation or the lack thereof, um, of why I'm doing or not doing something, right? And at least in this instance, obviously there are some cases where the reason why you want to do something or avoid it is very obvious. But in this case, I would say it's very hard to ascertain that. So that's why I decided to whip out my phone and just start recording. Maybe something is gonna dawn on me as I'm recording and seeing my very beautiful face. Okay, so and I think I've discovered it actually, and that's precisely why I mentioned this whole double peripheral vision thing, um, because the thing is, the moment the moment like I think about this, like doing that X thing that I have to do, right? There is like a floating resistance or a floating response to that intention. So it's almost like I am communicating with myself, within myself, if that makes any sense. So whenever I want to say like I want to do X, like I can feel it now. There's a feeling, and it's not just a feeling. There is something. I am saying something, but I feel like it's a little bit too subconscious. So that is possibly why I can't figure it out, and I just can't transcribe it to you. Um, but like even by principle, I can't even share it properly because I don't even know what I'm feeling right now. Um, so um, so yeah, basically, whenever there is resistance, there is an internal response. I feel it's almost like I can hear myself saying, making up excuses like, you don't have to do this, like I can really feel like there is an entity within me that is speaking through me to me. So something inside me speaking to me through yours truly. And that entity, I feel like it holds the answer to, and the solution, obviously, to this thing that I'm in right now. Do you ever feel something like this? And the reason why I can't see this, I can faintly sense it, but I can't see it, is because of this peripheral vision that I was telling you about. Were it in my peripheral vision, I would have seen it, obviously, because as I said, if something is to my side, I can easily see it. But this one feels like it's in the peripheral vision of my peripheral vision, so I have to do double the work to figure out what is the problem, because I know I can sense that it exists, but I can't. Just because I can't say what it is, it doesn't mean I don't know that it does exist, um, and that it's at the back of my brain or my head or whatever you want to call it. Like it's just, you know what, like when I say this, it's more of an analogy, so it's not really at the back of my head, but like in the context of this double peripheral thing, I guess it does make sense. Yeah, I'm making some really good analogies today. Okay, so yeah, and as I said, you can almost feel like there is the answer, if this makes sense. Like there's the answer is right there. I just have a response that's very automatic, if this makes sense. Um, like there is something that I feel. I don't know, to be honest. Um, it's just something that I feel right now, and I decided to share it with you guys. I'm sure that this is the key to. I could give you another example. So, for example, if there is something that I'm very, I mean, it's kind of the same example because the X is still unknown to you, right? But and now I'm gonna give you an actual variable, right? And that variable is like working out, for example. If I don't want to work out, what the hell is this? Can you see this, guys? There's something floating out of my head and my hair. It's like I don't know what this is. It could be rainbow or something, or maybe it's just dust off of my screen. Okay. Anyways, so imagine if you want to work out and you like as like before you work out, there's like this very strong resistance to working out. Your first thought, actual like the thing that materializes in your head, that the thing you're sure of that came from your head, right? That first thing is that there is something that's preventing you from doing that workout, whether it be like a mental health issue or a physical disability. Like, there is something, right? And that thought, um, that there is an underlying problem underneath it, and you know this is very troubling to me because I can feel it. Like I'm very close to it, and it's very frustrating to be to be very close to the problem and the solution. Sorry, to be very close to the solution, yet you can never get your fingers around it. You just know of its existence, but it's like there's still a chapter in your life that, or like an unlockable character. You have to unlock this character. Like there are some requirements to unlocking characters in video games, right? So it's almost like there's this requirement that I'm not seeing, and that requirement, maybe articulating this, is what people call emotional intelligence, perhaps. And I feel like I'm getting very, very, very closer to this. Double peripheral information. I'm just gonna call it that. Double DPI. Okay, DPI, like the one of the mouse, and in Photoshop you have depth per inch for. Yeah, so I'm gonna remember it from today onwards. I'm just gonna call it DPI, double peripheral information. So like there is this information that is at the second peripheral vision of mine, and that information I always like. There's that source. I always hear from it whenever there is either like there is resistance, or there are feelings involved, or it always responds. It always responds, but it doesn't always respond very obviously. Or I guess because it's double, it's the second one, it's not so obvious, if this makes any sense. And I think, as I said, yeah, I think I'm gonna get closer to this problem one step at a time. And actually, before recording this video, as I said, I think I said this, that I actually I was thinking about all of this, but then I just decided to record in order to maybe better understand the thing. The thing is as I said at the beginning of the recording, and that is, I already reached the solution. I just can't share it. Like, I reached it within my head. Or so I think. Maybe this is one of these things that you don't really get unless you can explain to other people. So it's kind of like, if you can't share it with other people, then you don't really know it. So I can't say I know it, but I can't share it. Maybe it's something like this, although I really doubt it. I think many people go through this. I hope, honestly. Otherwise, I'd be very crazy in this double peripheral vision theory of mine. But yeah, I think I'm gonna find the solution soon. I'm gonna be able to articulate it very well. Maybe if I only like whipped out my phone sooner, maybe I would have come closer to the root of this and be able to finally shed light to this emotional intelligence thing. I have a feeling it's called emotional intelligence, though I'm not sure really. I know what's emotional intelligence, but like, what's its principles? Like, what is it based on? If this makes sense, I feel like there's more to it. Like, where does it come from? Our understanding. Why is it that some people can, or some people are emotionally intelligent, but other people are not? Is it that these people who have emotional intelligence, is it that they've mastered listening to their DPI, the double peripheral information, so they actually, yeah, oh, okay. So I think this is the best way to put it, to put whatever I'm feeling into words, and that is, it's almost like the neurons in my brain, whenever there is a reaction to something, for example, something I don't like doing, or I don't want to be doing, or making an excuse, which is, in my opinion, is a feeling. Whenever there is a trauma response, like any kind of response, in the, what do they call it? Like the neurotic system. What's it called? Like neuron system, I guess. Like in the brain and stuff, neurons and waves, brain waves, stuff like this. Whenever that happens, whenever there is any kind of reaction to something very difficult, there is an explanation that accompanies it. That neuron is language. Like, that neuron is English. I can hear English in my head. I can hear someone telling me what is the problem. But it's very muddy. These neurons get transformed into words that are intelligible to me, but the next second they abscond away, leaving me with confusion, really, to the point that I can't even articulate what I vividly feel to a camera, for example. That's all. The video is almost 20 minutes long. Honestly, I don't even have like a YouTube channel. I have like a small YouTube channel for just posting my progression videos for language learning. But I don't think anyone is gonna watch this video. But I'm just gonna record it. It's 2024. I probably just I'm just gonna save it to my Google Drive. Hopefully in the future maybe I can use these videos for something that's meaningful, that's profoundly valuable, that actually has some value besides the other things that I do, like playing games and like stuff like this. Maybe this will, I don't know, I'm just gonna try and record more of these.